fair sharing. That means equal sharing. It also, in word problems, means fractions, because you're going to see some word problems with fair sharing in them, and they are going to be tricky. Let's take a look. 4 children share 6 brownies so that each child receives a fair share. How many brownies will each child receive? I see the word each, and I'm immediately thinking division. Well, I have 4 children, they're sharing 6 brownies. I put the bigger number first, 6 divided by 4. Wait a minute, that's not a fact that I know. That doesn't work out evenly. I can't do it. So let's draw a picture and really think about that in terms of fair sharing and fractions. How many brownies will each child receive is ultimately what I want to figure out. So I have my 6 brownies drawn. Well, I could give each kid 1 brownie. So like 1, 1, 1, 1. Each of the 4 kids gets 1 whole brownie. So each kid's going to get 1 whole. And then I have 2 left. Well, there's 4 kids. Wait a minute, what if I split each brownie in so that I have enough for 4? So I could do like that, split it into fourths. And then each kid would get 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Each kid would get a 1/4 from each brownie. So they would then have 2 fourths. So they get 1 whole and 2 fourths of a brownie. And that's how I would have 4 children share the 6 brownies. How many brownies will each child receive? Well, 1 whole and 2 fourths of a brownie. Let's look at it from a different perspective and make a little change to the problem. You now have 6 children sharing 4 brownies equally so that each child receives a fair share. What portion of each brownie will each child receive? Each. A lot in there. So you're thinking division, multiplication. It kind of is division. We're dividing brownies up into equal shares, just referring to as fractions. We have 6 children, 4. I have my 4 brownies drawn. I want to share equally. That's another way to say fair share. The question, pay careful attention, says what portion of each brownie will each child receive? So now I have a question, and it's only talking about one of the brownies. It's saying of each brownie, how much will one kid get? Well, there's 6. So if I take the brownies, and I would just split them up into 6. And now I would give each kid 1 part of a brownie, and then they would have that. So what portion of each brownie would each child receive? Well, they get 1 part, but we want to be more specific. Each one of these parts represents 1/6. Each one of these is 1/6, so what portion of each brownie will each child receive? They will each get 1/6 of each brownie. Another question about fractions. What fraction of the rectangle is shaded? How might you draw the rectangle in another way, but with the same fraction shaded? Pause the video and try to answer these 2 questions, and then come back, restart it, and check your work. Alright, so if you look, you first need to figure out your denominator. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm looking at fourths, and it says shaded is shaded, so 1, 2 fourths are shaded. Now, how might you draw the rectangle in another way, but with the same fraction shaded? That means you want to kind of draw the same shape, the exact same shape, and with the same parts. It just means how you shade it differently. So I could shade it like this. And I still have 2 fourths shaded, but when I look at this, I really think, wait a minute, I have that whole top half shaded. This is really 1/2. Isn't that interesting? That 2/4 ends up being exactly the same as 1/2. So this is another way you could draw it, and you might label that 1/2 because these are actually 2/4 equals 1/2. Let's look at a number line example. What fraction does the letter A represent? So we have A, here's 0, here's 1. Let's count the spaces. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know my denominator is 4. Now, how far in is A? Well, A is 1 space in. So it would be 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and A is 1 space in. Here's your learning target. I can solve problems involving fractions and equal sharing. I kind of left out a couple words here. I did not put in fair sharing to slip you up a little bit, see if you can figure this one out. 4 students are sharing 3 cookies. What fraction of each cookie does each student get?